And it seems like majority of us and the world, even sports commentators, even Brundle, even Jolyon Palmer, who I just finished talking about, ain't do much in Formula One, but he was there, seem to all pretty much have the same outtake or same take that Lewis Hamilton has been issued a 5-second penalty unjustly. And I'm trying to figure out why and how do they seem or deem to think that it was okay to give him this penalty. All right, so I'm going to go over this real quick because I don't understand how consistently inconsistent Formula One is conducting themselves. I'm not sure at this point in time if it's not more about the person than it is about trying to enforce rules and regulations that will indeed keep the health of the sport up. You have thousands and hundreds of thousands of people who have not been tuning in to Formula One for this reason and other reasons, period. And you do this during a sprint, all while you dismiss so much other shit that's going on. And I'm going to put it out there with Max Verstappen. Literally, Max damn ran Lando off the road during a qualifying session, and you didn't give him a penalty for impeding. That was more egregious than Carlos ever had as far as impeding. He ran Lando off and literally could have caused a collision of Lando in the wall. No penalty for Max. Track limits, no deletion for Max. I saw at least 2 people re-enter unsafely in the pits, no penalty for them. Although I did see a penalty for Lewis Hamilton, and it was in the team. Meanwhile, there was an inter-team situation where Gasly took out his teammate and damaged both cars, and you didn't give him a penalty. I'm trying to figure out where are the rules and how are they being instated? Why are we seeing so many inconsistent bullshit calls? I'm not understanding it. So we're going to go over this because I've said this before, and we have so many people that say, no, that's not right. Yeah, it's right. It's right. And if it's not right, it should still be right. What they're doing is not right. So what I am going to show you, and we are going to go by the letter of the guidelines, and you tell me, should Lewis Hamilton have been giving a penalty? This is it. Here we go. I don't want to hear any more bull crap. Right here are the guidelines. A, it says clearly the attacker, which is Lewis Hamilton in this situation, fittingly, the blue car is the Red Bull. The red car is going to be Lewis Hamilton. Attacker more than halfway alongside. And you'll have so many haters and so many ridiculous, delusional people say, oh, no, this is right. In the case that the attacker is definitely more than halfway past the defender at the apex, the attacker has the right to the racing line. A collision at the apex is entirely the fault of the defender. Right there, that is saying that the defender will take fault and blame for any collision that takes place under those circumstances, at very minimum in that situation. Do you get me? The attacker, Lewis Hamilton, the defender, Sergio Checo Perez. If the attacker, Lewis Hamilton, is more than halfway alongside and collision occurs, it is Checo's fault. All right, we got more examples. Don't go anywhere. We got more examples. Sylvia Wick says, absolutely racing incident, FIS fix for Red Bull. I believe you. The mechanic says, if anyone lost the mojo, it's Toto. Damn, that rhymed. I ain't mad at that. Mechanic, F1 viewership down, especially in America, and F1 desperately wants a strong US fan base, and they messing that up right now. Lewis taking a whole block with him when he leaves facts. That's facts. That's facts. So let's keep going. Let's keep going because I'm going to show you something. I'm going to go into something and I'm going to show you something like I'm trying to keep it real with y'all. So here we go, right? Here's the next one. Here is the next situation that we are in, okay? So right here, B, attacker less than halfway alongside. In this case, still the attacker is Lewis Hamilton. Sergio Perez is the blue car. Lewis Hamilton is the red car. Pretty much set up how it was there. In this case, the attacker has only their front wing alongside the defender's rear wheel. The defender has the right to the racing line. A collision at the apex is entirely the fault of the attacker. So in that situation, Lewis Hamilton being the attacker, Perez being the defender, Perez the blue car, Hamilton the red car. If Hamilton's front wing is less than halfway alongside Perez's and a collision occurs, it's Lewis Hamilton's fault, okay? So Alpha we had attacker more than halfway alongside, it's Perez's fault. Bravo, we have attacker less than halfway alongside, it's Lewis Hamilton's fault. Now we have another one. So check this example out. Here's the next example. So here we are right here. Charlie, C. Attacker approximately halfway alongside. Approximately. Still, Lewis Hamilton is the red car, Perez is the blue car. In this case, the attacker's front axle is ahead of the defender's rear axle, and the two cars are approximately halfway alongside. Both drivers have a reasonable claim to the apex. If contact occurs, blame will have to be shared. It is in the zone that racing incidents can occur. That is A, B, C. So I tell you what, let's take a look of the actual footage of where this is, and you tell me by one of these letters of the guideline if Perez is at fault, if Lewis Hamilton's at fault, are they shared equally? And I can damn well tell you that Lewis Hamilton, by these guidelines, is not at fault for shit. Either Perez is at fault and should be, or they share the responsibility and it's a racing incident, which means there's no 5-second penalty that should be handed out. It should be no further investigation, racing incident. So let's check the tape, because right now I'm getting pissed off with this inconsistent BS. So let's go ahead and check the tape, please. So here we go. And we're going to make sure we slow it down. All right. We'll make sure we slow this down. So here it is right here. As you can see, Lewis Hamilton is more than halfway alongside Perez. Is anybody blind and can't see that? Because Pien just said he picked up a bunch of lens crafter glasses and he'll gladly ship you some. Lewis Hamilton in this image, at least from this angle, seems to be more than halfway alongside. Let's continue. Right there, can anybody not see that Lewis Hamilton is more than halfway alongside? His front wing is well beyond the front axle of Sergio Perez. Is anybody cannot see that? Okay, we'll continue the tape, because it seems like professionals that are supposed to be able to look at this and deduce from this and hand out legitimate penalties are not doing their job properly, although it seems like I can. So I'll continue. Here we go. You can clearly see that the Mercedes is at least halfway alongside, but we're not talking about approximately. Lewis Hamilton is still more than halfway alongside Perez. Still more than halfway alongside. We'll continue. Boom, collision occurs. And even at this point where collision occurs, Lewis Hamilton is still more than halfway alongside Perez. So it is deemed that this should at minimum be a racing incident, at maximum be Perez's fault, and he should have received the penalty. Can you tell me why damn near Lewis Hamilton is receiving penalty for this collision? It is BS. It is BS. I am telling you right now, that is BS. And this is where the problem is. If you need glasses, go get some. If you got something hateful to say about this because you just want to be totally ignorant, because you want to see facts and you know facts that have happened, but you want to support your boy Max even when this ain't nothing to support him in. You want to support Perez, but you'll support Perez on behalf of Max. You are whack as hell. It is clearly obvious Lewis Hamilton should not receive a penalty, and if anybody is to receive a penalty, it is Perez that should have received a penalty along with the hole in the side of his side pod, because he did not give up the apex. But even if he didn't, it's a racing incident. Shit happens. It happens. You don't give Lewis Hamilton a penalty. He was more than halfway alongside and alongside. So in case you didn't see it, I'll show it to you again. Here you go. If you can't read, I'll read it for you. And we'll start with Alpha. Attacker more than halfway alongside. A collision at this apex is entirely the fault of Perez. Attacker less than halfway alongside. A collision at this apex is at the fault of Lewis Hamilton. This is not the situation we have. Lewis Hamilton was not less than halfway alongside. Approximately halfway alongside. This does not mean his front wing has to be at the front axle. His front wing and front axle is approximately in the midsection of Perez's car, and this is still not a penalty for Lewis Hamilton. This is shared responsibility between both drivers, both teams, and no penalty should be handed out. And this is where my problem is with the sport of Formula One, FIA, and these damn stewards that are handing out these inconsistent penalties to these drivers, especially Lewis Hamilton. For whatever reason it is, it's damn well ridiculous and shameful. No, Adamain Tanny says BS penalty, compliments of Honda dealership, owner of FIA stewards, Derek Ward, all the best. God bless the fam. Thank you much. Spider R35, they would have let it go if Checo didn't get damaged. I don't give a damn if his car came apart. They should have let it go, period, because these guidelines state that's what should be happening. Mary Beanie, I've watched it back 4 times. Checo drifted into Lewis. This is such bullshit. I am mad as hell. Derek Ward needs to go, and Shady Russell by. And Russell, you getting on people's damn nerves too, bro. You getting on people's nerves, Russell. Listen, I'm on here. I ain't even supposed to be on here. I got to go low. I got to finish getting this load cart up, get the toolbox out. We got to race our damn self. But these are the situations that happen. Exactly. Really, this is how my daughter got wrecked out. Carrying too much speed into the S. You weren't halfway alongside, and you pit maneuvered her. Cost me about $300 damn just for one section to be repaired. But I'm just saying, all right, Lewis Hamilton did not deserve that penalty. If anybody was going to get it, Perez should have got it, and that's what I'm saying. And I will show you the tail of the tape one more again, because I bet we're going to have a bunch of blind-ass witness people in here that are going to try and say that indeed it is Lewis Hamilton's fault, when indeed it is not Lewis Hamilton's fault. And damn it, if you can't tell right there Lewis Hamilton is more than halfway alongside Perez, you're blind. If you can't tell right there Lewis Hamilton is more than halfway beyond Perez, you're blind. If you can't tell right there that Lewis Hamilton is still more than approximately halfway alongside Perez, you're blind. If you can't tell right there that Lewis Hamilton is approximately halfway alongside Perez, you're blind. You are blind. So, what I will say, this is what we got. Formula One, this is why you're getting what you're getting. This is why your viewership is down. You pulled a scam in 2021. You let people go completely, very lightly punished for breaching the cost cap by over $2 million, which is showing right now in a very highly competitive and damn near dominant car that Red Bull have. You've yet to try to explain to us where we are in the cost cap as of this year with all the documents being reviewed and the submissions by the team. We don't know where we stand or what you're doing. Your transparency has been as foggy as Spa is on the heaviest rainy day with wet tires littering the grid. This is why your viewership is down. This is why the sport of Formula One may soon find themselves in a very sticky situation, especially upon the retirement of Lewis Hamilton. You might find yourself with a void. It is true that every sport goes on without their great players, that every sport survives beyond the players. But it is also true that when certain players, certain greats, certain GOATs leave your sport, it is felt among your revenue and your viewership. And I'm telling you right now, your viewership is already down. You know what's going to happen when Lewis Hamilton ain't around? Just saying. You might want to get your shit together. You might start trying to figure out where you're going wrong, because you giving Lewis Hamilton a 5-second penalty. You calling Lewis Hamilton in every goddamn time about jury. You letting people go on track limits when they should be getting penalties. You letting people go with impeding other drivers when you penalize other drivers. You letting 2 drivers go because they're in the same team and one driver wrecked the other one out, unsafe entry, is going to be noted. People don't want to see this. And you've been warned, but you do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. Tomorrow, we're giving out a VIP box. Tomorrow, we're spending for a Baraka to get a $50, $25 Visa gift card. I now have I slept for maybe an hour and a half. I'm working off that. I've been up, and I'm still going to be up, and I'm going to be up probably until 2 o'clock the following morning. But I will be here live tomorrow for race day, and we will be live hot Monday for F1 Minute, and that's going to be a hot live show with all these shenanigans going on. Peace and love. I got to go. My family got me hyped up. They charged me up in the Discord meeting. I had to come on here and talk my shit. I'm out. Peace and love. See you soon. Wolfpack.